Hello and welcome to the channel, it's Erad coming to you with the latest news regarding Star Citizen. And yes, I know I haven't made a lot of videos these days because there haven't been much news. We're still stuck with Star Citizen Alpha 3.18.1 in the PTU. We got an update from Xylo on Spectrum, who did say that they are going to have more playtests coming up this weekend. So we're not going to have 3.18.1 in the live servers this week. Sorry guys, gonna have to wait a little bit more, but they do say that if the playtests are successful, then they are going to eye at a release for early next week. Again, that is all hypothetical because anything can go wrong, right? With this 3.18.1 that's just been baking in the PTU for forever at this point, for a very long time. Anyway, we also have a roadmap update. It's all about 3.19, and it seems like all of the items except for the RSI links are now committed. It's not much of a surprise because, well, 3.19 was supposed to be the quarterly patch for the first quarter of this year. So it's all been, again, baking for a very long time, polished probably. I suspect that 3.19 is going to be a very pleasant experience because it's just been sitting there for a very long time. The plan is to have 3.19 hitting the PTU as soon as 3.18.2 gets to the live servers. So hopefully that's also going to be quite soon, or perhaps this month, right? Next, we are going to talk about the monthly report. Yes, it's the month of April, of course, and well, we have a lot to talk about. Now, before that, I also have a giveaway, guys. Let's not forget, people have been asking me about the giveaway. Well, we've got a couple of things. First, thanks to Tobii, we have a Constellation Aquilla with a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. All you have to do is to go to the link that you will find in the description down below. They also have a lot of other prizes in case you don't win the Aquilla, but you can win another prize with the starter package. Also, if you are a Patreon member or a YouTube member, then we have another RSI Scorpius to give away. You can also join on Discord via our video sharing contest for free. It also helps the channel a lot. And the winners of last month's giveaway will be announced at the end of this video. Now, let's talk about the monthly report because this one is really quite an interesting one indeed. Oh, first, let's talk about character art, and we've got a couple of gangs that are going to have their outfits ready. These are gangs for the Pyro system. These are the Headhunter gangs and the Rough and Ready gangs. Not much is known about them, unfortunately. Just that, the team have been working on them so that they'll be ready when finally Pyro will be out. Also, when it comes to ships here, well, they spent some time closing out the Argo SRV. Now, interestingly, the Argo SRV is not coming up with 3.19, which again makes me think that 3.19 was done quite some time ago and they're just polishing it to make sure everything is smooth, and that the Argo SRV will be coming up with Star Citizen 3.20, which should be the quarter 3 patch, the one that maybe will coincide with the CitizenCon. Also, the whole C is receiving further support as well. It's mostly bug fixing. Some white box work has begun on 2 unannounced vehicles, with one receiving a flyable in-editor prototype. I suppose that these vehicles or ships are going to be for this year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. It's usually the case when they start working on vehicles like that by the month of March. They can be ready about 6 months later, which would coincide with the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, especially if those ships are not so big. Now, we can all maybe remember what happened with the Cutter, right? That's basically how it was. They also had a component pass for the MISC Freelancer, very important because we're going to be able to swap components, steal components. They want to make sure that all of the vehicles are ready for that technology that is coming up already with 3.19, so it's coming up really soon and they have to do that. The gray box for a new vehicle has also approached completion, so perhaps this one will be ready if they are fast enough for the Invictus Fleet Launch Week, if not for CitizenCon. Also, the grey box on the Aopoa Santokai is ongoing, and this one I believe is also probably going to be ready for CitizenCon as well. That is definitely, or maybe Alien Week, it's also possible. I'm personally really looking forward to flying this ship. Not a big fan. I mean, I love looking at the Kratual, but in terms of using it for fighting. I'm not a big fan. I prefer something a little bit with more firepower, and a Sentok Yai is definitely something that's going to fill this niche. Next, let's talk about Arena Commander a little bit, and all development teams here are now on the front end, working on the new front end, as well as a lobby system, new racing tracks. For example, Elis 3, which is also known as Green, is the planet that hosts the Horizon Speedway. Well, that one is going to get an update with new biomes, including higher mountains, increased water levels, and beaches to better represent the vast oceans and indoor vacation destination that the racers are hosted over. Now, in the screenshot, it looks a little bit too much like Microtech, so this could be very well placeholder, and I hope that that's eventually going to change, right? Next, this one's going to be really interesting. We're going to talk about weapon heating in first-person combat mode. That's something that we don't need to worry about right now when we're in first-person combat mode, but eventually in the future you are going to have to manage your weapon overheating. Otherwise, if you overheat, then sure, you are going to have an increased firing range for firing rate for a little bit of time, but then you are not going to be able to use your weapon. You're going to have to do some kind of maneuver or procedure, a little bit similar to how weapons need to be reloaded, but in this case it's going to be to cool your weapon off. I suspect that it's going to be something a little bit similar to what we see in Battlefront 2 for those of you who still play Electronic Arts' latest Star Wars FPS game. Next, let's talk about some gameplay features, and they are working a little bit on the mining update as well as the tractor beam. Now, these were updates that we've seen in previous episodes of Inside Star Citizen, and also ship refinery work has begun as well. Now, let's talk about missions. There's quite a few as well here. Work has continued on the upcoming salvage contract mission, which we talked about a lot on this channel, right? There are going to be a couple of different missions, a legal mission, an unlawful mission, and an illegal mission as well. And that's probably going to be adding a lot of PvP opportunities too, because those RMC containers, right, recycled material composites, are very profitable, and you can bet that a lot of players will be willing to fight over the opportunities to bring in those home. Package extraction mission have also progressed towards an eventual release. Also, the feature team is looking into adding several cargo to mission ships to give players a reason to investigate destroyed ships or ships that are in soft death. Yes, please. And I really hope that we're talking about, for example, the crashed ships or the derelict ship that sometimes we have to go to. And these ships are unfortunately quite empty. And it's really not motivating at all to go there and just go find a dead body, and that's basically it. It's basically a waste of time. You can make so much more money for the time that you're spending. But if we can get some juicy loot out of those ships, maybe let's say there's about 10 boxes left of Laranite, right, that you would find in a down container, in a down caterpillar, for example, then all of a sudden it makes the ship far more interesting. Also, ship escort missions that involve quantum travel has progressed as well. So basically what this means is that you are going to be starting to escort a ship at a given location, say around a moon of Hurston. Then you are going to be linking your quantum drive, I suppose, to another area that I don't really imagine that it's going to be to another planet, because that's going to be quite of a long mission. Let's say you travel from Hurston all the way to Microtech. That's going to be a little bit boring, so probably it's going to be from moon to moon. Usually those missions are inside a single planetary system, and we don't move from planet to planet, so that's what I suspect it's going to be. And maybe there's going to be an interdiction, and then you're going to have to protect the ship that's going to be interdicted. That's the way I see it. Also, they added quality of life fixes for 3.19. Again, that's what I said here. This is confirming the fact that 3.19 is pretty much done here, and they're all working on polishing features now. And this is going to enable players to see historical data of whether a mission was completed or failed and why. Now, is this going to be for your own missions, or is it going to be including for all of the missions that people have done before? I think it's going to be for your own mission. I mean, this is already existing, but the problem is that the data does not really persist all the time. So I suppose that we're going to have more information in a future sprint report. Probably, I don't think there's going to be an episode of Inside Star Citizen for that. It's probably going to be for a sprint report. Also, on the law side, the team worked on the ability to defend a ship interior from trespassers. Aha! Yes. That's very interesting because very often, right, you have a trespasser, but you cannot get rid of the trespasser because if you do inside the range of a common ray, then you are the one who's going to get a crime set for homicide. It's not fair. So here, this includes not automatically adding players to a ship's comms channel unless they are a party member. Oh dear. So does that mean that actually if you're a trespasser you can be hidden from the ship owner and the ship owner will not be able to see you in the comm? That's very that's not really the direction that I was hoping they would go to, but hey, it is what it is. Finally, we will finish this monthly report with some location. They've made some progress with Ruin Station and work has been done on new local law offices, especially when it comes to developing layouts and working toward playable prototypes, so they want to make sure that this is working properly. This is very important for the future of bounty hunting gameplay, when we will have to bring some of the captured NPCs or perhaps players to those offices so that we can get our reward and then eventually get access to more missions. Also, the cargo elevators have been worked on alongside the US Persistent Universe team. Very important here for the continuation of the work of the cargo refactor. So there we have it. These are the best lines of the latest monthly report. Quite a few things indeed to digest. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what type of work in progress gameplay are you looking forward to the most, and what do you think those unknown ships or unannounced ships perhaps are? Well, also, I would like to know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I would love to see a medium-sized mining ship, something between the mole and the prospector. I think that it could have a very nice role to play in the Persistent Universe, but that's just my own opinion. All right, guys, next I'm going to announce the giveaway winners here. So here we go. We had an Origin 315P to give away, as well as a little bonus here, some Avis armor and pieces set. And so, Joe Bryan, congratulations, you are the winner of the Origin 315P. This was a giveaway done on Gleam, and so your number, entry 3111, came out, and entry 1862 from Cheryl C. London. Congratulations, you won an Avis armor and pieces set. I will be contacting you by email today. Also on Patreon or via the YouTube membership program, or also our video sharing contest on Discord. Well, we have also here another winner, and it is The Deal, who is bringing home a Scorpius and Taras. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Also, don't forget that we have a giveaway this month. We are giving away, thanks to Tobii, a Constellation Aquilla with a night tracker. Also, if you want a night tracker for yourself, well, if you use the link in the description down below, you can get 15% off your order on Patreon or via the YouTube membership program, or on Discord as well via our video sharing contest. We have also an Antares Scorpius once again this month. So yeah, good luck to everyone out there. I've been Erad. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.